Hey, we're Blenderstyle, and you better hold on tight because we're rolling again. On this episode, Electric Callboy, Tekkno, released in 2022. Cheers, fellas.
Gentlemen.
2022.
Dance my ass off.
So I came across a video for Hyper probably a year, maybe a little over ago, when we first started doing Blenderstyle, and I put it on my list of albums that I wanted to check out, or my list of bands technically, because this album just came out last year. And I was kind of intrigued by the style. I feel like there's this resurgence of industrial or kind of how we talked about the new metal revival that's going on. I feel like over in Europe and Japan and stuff, there's this push for heavier music. It's kind of cool to me. And so I just wanted to throw this out there and see what you guys thought about it. This is the 6th studio album by Electric Callboy.
Their 6th album.
6th album. It's the first album to feature Nico Sallach as the band's clean vocalist.
Okay.
Their former vocalist, Sebastian Bessler, went on to form the band Ghost Kid.
Okay.
And so I just kind of wanted to throw this out there
name.
And see where you guys were at with this. See if I know I've sent a bunch of shit from them to you guys.
So I didn't realize it's a new clean vocalist.
Yes.
Because I remember you sharing some of the singles from before.
Yes, and this is the first album with that vocalist. So those singles did have him on them, but then the album came out later.
No. But I mean, like previous songs, like songs not on this album. Were the
okay.
And this guy's good, dude. Like his cleans are good.
Yes, for sure.
Like he's talented, is what I mean. And then just today, I was like just watching some videos, and there was a video of him doing a cover of.
Yeah, you sent that.
Alice in Chains.
No, Linkin Park.
Linkin.
Crawling in My
it was
Skin.
Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Crawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is nailing it, dude.
Dude, I when you sent that to me, I was like, holy shit, because I knew his vocal prowess from just this stuff. I know he was in the band for before called To the Rats, or To the Wolves and the Rats, or To the Rats and the Wolves, or whatever.
Oh, really?
And so once they broke up, he joined Electric Callboy because their original clean vocalist left and formed Ghost Kid, which is ironic because a lot of the people who were in from the Rats and the Wolves, or from whatever the fuck it's called, joined Ghost Kid to form his band. So it was kind of like a swap of members or whatever.
That's interesting.
Which is kind of interesting, yeah. But I feel like this band kind of is the forefront. They're kind of up there with that new surgence of like new school kind of rock / metal / new wave. I've read that they're ravecore.
Okay, so I didn't know what to classify this as. Ravecore is a thing?
I guess it is. That's the first time I've heard it.
It's very dancey.
It's very
German
dancey.
as shit.
And it kind of pushes on that whole idea of you remember in the early 90s when like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were coming out, and MTV kind of pushed it as just like a hard line in the sand and like started pushing all this stuff.
Okay.
I feel like this is the reverse of that, where they're blending that kind of stuff with the heavier stuff to kind of bring everybody back to the heavy side, which I think is really cool.
I see what you're saying.
You think they're doing it as like a revival for heavy music?
I really think they are, because if you're over in Europe, there's like a big like Swedish black metal and Norwegian black metal and stuff. Well, for sure. So Nathan and I, when we were in Amsterdam, they had a what was it, a discotheque night or whatever, like where like all the clubs in town were playing like discotheque. But it wasn't like, we avoided it because we assumed it was like disco.
But it's heavy.
And it's a weird resurgence of things.
That's so weird.
And so it's like this weird kind of like blending of genres, and it's really cool to kind of see. So I just want to see where you guys are at with it.
Oh, man. Casey, dude, why do you pick this shit sometimes? Like this, like, there's things that I think are as a joke and blah, 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 and you're like, hey, we're gonna do an Electric Callboy album. Yeah. I'm like, why, dude? Why do you pick that? And then I start listening to it, and it's like pretty fucking good. And I don't want to like
exactly.
it. But the more I listen to it, it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's short as fuck.
The first, I swear to God.
Do you like that it's just catchy?
Nathan, I swear to God, the first time I listened to this, when it was done, because we put this in a playlist and then the next thing started playing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what happened? I wasn't like tired of it.
I wasn't done.
Oh, dude, it's like the fact that they make it 30 minutes is I respect that.
The fact
because it's annoying, lame music, kind of.
But there's so many hooks.
There's variety.
There is.
Like there's this German song, and then there's like dancey shit.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of suck.
Yeah.
In a way.
I get what you're saying.
But it is, like, I appreciate what they're doing. Like, it's not, like, I was driving over here not listening to music, which is rare, but in my head I was listening to...
Well, and that's where I'm at. Like, this progression of, like, respecting what they're doing, it's a weird thing because... Like, coming from an American music scene where everything's, you know, like this poppy kind of like new wave revival kind of weird thing going on. And then hearing somebody that's capable of blending the heavy, like, metalcore with like this techno-y kind of thing. It's kind of like a weird mix between Static X and like the earlier like deathcore bands,
America's
which is crazy.
Like pop with country going shit right now, you know what I mean? Which I think is just kind of whack also, you know what I mean? But yeah, they're not trying all different types of genres within a pop song anymore, you know, here. It doesn't feel like it to me. And then
it's not tacked on, yeah.
Like this stuff, which is, you know, from Germany, right?
Yeah.
Also has like a Japanese feel to it.
It really does.
For sure.
Dude.
So like I think this is like the new world music. Is this like the new world music where they're
I'm glad you're bringing this up because my daughter, I was hanging out with her and I was listening to this and she's like, what is this? I was like, oh, it's Electric Callboy. It's this German band. She's like, this sounds like it'd be better if it was Japanese. And I'm like, I think you're right, dude. Like if it was like more like K-pop kind of like, or J-pop like kind of lyrics, you know what I mean?
Well, I think you're right though. Even K-pop, it kind of blends the two genres.
It's like baby metal, you know what I mean, in a way.
I just picture dudes going to this concert wearing like white shorts and white Nikes and like a gold chain and like hair that is like frosted at the tips.
So I've seen a bunch of live videos for these guys, and like their audience is always just killing it. And the fact that they have these cool like hip hoppy kind of vibe fills going on with the,
it probably works well live.
And that's what I'm saying. Like as a live
it's
band,
a festival band.
Yeah, this would be a killer experience to see live. I feel like there's a lot of like, not necessarily emotion, but a lot of fun that they're having with this. Like they're not taking themselves too serious, but at the same time, they're throwing it out there and they're having a good time. This is like the early Beastie Boys shit.
I disagree completely with that.
What's weird to me though is this is almost kind of like childish, and it almost feels gross that I'm listening to it. Like it feels like they're making this music for little kids or something.
You don't like it when he says, "My spaghetti, you make my spaghetti ready."
Ready.
Yeah.
Candy time. Pick up your dinner for one.
I have to say, guys, this is complete bullshit. I did not like this at all.
Really?
I tried so much to like this.
Do you
let
me
parts
ask
that
you,
I do like are like the heavier parts, but those heavier parts are just like any other like metalcore thing that was going on at one point.
It is kind of generic metalcore at times. Let me ask you a question before you give your rating. You've listened to bands like Steel Panther and Guar and stuff like that. This is a joke band in a lot of ways. Do you think this is...
I just don't like the joke.
Do you think... Okay. So that's why I brought up Steel Panther, because Steel Panther is kind of like...
Yeah, I don't like Steel Panther either, though. Maybe it's the jokey thing. Maybe it's the jokey thing.
So I kind of agree with you. I feel like this band in the early days was a joke band, but I feel like this album was kind of their turning point to try and become more serious. I feel like the joke part is still there on the back end.
Obviously, yeah.
It's obvious it's there, but they're taking themselves more seriously. Based off their previous albums, this is a huge step forward for them. This debuted at #1 on the German metal charts.
Not surprised.
And to me,
this is not metal.
I understand to you it's not metal, but you listen to a lot of black metal. But you
I
also
don't have the robot ears.
Well, I think you also have to take it in. I also think
you would if you had our robot ears.
I think you also have to take it in as a fact of like, in a world that's like plagued with this pop country stuff, like you're saying, this is kind of a resurgence of something, or a transition back to something that is more generalized of kind of the style of music we listen to. And so I got to give him credit for that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I agree with you. I feel like there's a lot of like jokey stuff on there. Like on Arrow of Love, he's like, I'm going to shoot my arrow of love in your face. It's like, you know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like cool. But I feel like their singles that came out after that were kind of better. I also feel like they're taking themselves more seriously than they were previously. And the thing for me that kind of gets it is this blending of like metalcore with dancecore and pop music, which is kind of cool, just to bring, because what it does is it does the same thing that like bands that we listened to in the 90s did for us, that brought us into different genres. So it takes
that's what you mean by Beastie Boys, like bridging the gap.
So it takes these, but also Beastie Boys' first couple albums weren't serious. They were kind of jokey.
That's okay, but it's edgier enough that it brings people in, and they want to do edgier
new genre, and so there's this transition thing, and I feel like this isn't just a German thing. I feel like this is going on with Japan and Germany and Europe and stuff. And America is the country where like this hard rock thing kind of came upon, but it transitioned out. Now it's all these other countries' jobs to bring people back to like understanding other styles of music. And so for that, I have to give this credit.
So you think?
I think also just in other countries, they're open to different types of music sometimes. Sure. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like
we're
pretty segregated with how like
look at the Norwegian and the Swedish black metal. How many Americans understand that stuff? Yet you go to Europe and they have entire festivals dedicated to this.
True.
And so being able to bring people into that style, because these guys have played big festivals, even like metal festivals and stuff, because they have that blend of genres that bring people in.
It's a hype band.
And so if you could bring some pop kid into a black metal concert, that's good for the black metal scene.
Yeah, the difference with black metal though is they don't want that. They don't need it. Yeah,
they don't need it exactly. But it's just
cool. What you're saying.
It's cool to appreciate it.
But like we're talking about, this is like a more of a world genre.
Oh, for sure.
Like a widespreading genre.
Yeah.
That does want more attention.
Like we said, it sounds almost like like it came from Japan or something, you know what I mean? But it's obviously not.
But at the same time, I feel like Japan's back on the big like the Judas Priest metal kind of style revival right now.
That's true. There's galloping guitars and stuff like that.
And so this transition, this
is more deathcore oriented.
Might have been early like Japanese
but
style.
There's that same like underlying like electronic more.
Yeah. Well, Crossfaith is a huge
dude.
Like they have that electronic underline, but then you listen to bands like Love Bites and they're strictly like Judas Priest style, guitar led, heavy galloping drums and stuff.
Like power metal.
Oh yeah. And it's just a crazy kind of thing. Like Maximum the Hormone is big into like this system of down sound and the transitions and the different styles and stuff. So it's kind of cool to hear all these different styles
from all over,
and kind of incorporated into one thing.
So Nathan, it sounds like you're probably the least fan of this. What would you rate this?
I'll give it a 1.0.
Oh my God! You hated this.
Yeah, it was not good to me. I did not enjoy it. I tried it numerous times.
I sent you some videos because I didn't like it at first either, but
you thought that was going to save me, and I was like...
You're like, no.
I'm like, watch this workout video, and you're like, this is not my kind of workout.
Here, hate this band more.
you sent the video to Nathan for Pump It, and he's like, "Oh fuck that!" And then it just shows him in his garage.
I do like. That's why I give it a little 1.0. I was gonna go lower to tell you the truth.
Right.
But there's some things that I do like that are goofy. They say that I'm like, that's some like fucking Bloodhound Gang shit. You know.
Yeah.
Bloodhound Gang's way better than this.
Oh yeah.
I give this a 3.1 out of 5.
Okay.
It's pretty bad, but I like it. Like it was. I listened to it a couple times. And I'm just like, this sucks, but I'm like still enjoying it. And I have to give it props for that. We've done some albums that are like kind of bad.
Yeah.
This album's all, look what I can do.
Yeah, but I'm like giggling and I'm like enjoying myself while I'm listening to it, and that's kind of what this is. So I usually don't like jokey bands, but they kind of got me with this, and I appreciate that we're starting to discover that this might be more of a like worldly, like a bigger genre.
Yeah.
It's a conversation to maybe have, right?
Yeah, and so it's driving that part of my like music interest or whatever, and I give it props for that too. So Casey, your pick?
I give it a 4.2. I feel like the ability for a band to cater to multiple genres and still pull people in that aren't necessarily into that style of music is really cool. I feel like this pulls these pop kids in that aren't necessarily into heavy music, but it also keeps the people who are into heavy music kind of entertained. Like you said, it might not be your thing, but it's entertaining enough to keep
some
your
sugar
attention.
with the medicine.
Exactly. And if we could keep going in ways like this, heavy music has a good opportunity to research. And for that, I have to give it a 4.2.
Oh, man.
There's a great mix. It's entertaining. It's not necessarily serious, but the fact that it's way more serious than previous albums, I feel like it's a stepping stone and they're eventually going to get there. And the fact that they're able to incorporate all the different styles and the transitions and stuff, it's really cool to me. So
I love that.
I like that you're interested and you're like into it. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But I just want to say something real quick, like how you're like, it'll be a resurgence of music. And a quote to me came from Aesop Rock, where he says, you need to realize what you're holding ain't really broken. And he's talking about hip hop, where people are like, well, hip hop, it's not like how it used to be. It's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, motherfucker, hip hop never went anywhere. You did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heavy music has been here. It's going to be here.
Oh, for
and I
sure.
don't think we need a jerk off to keep it around.
Well, and I agree with what you're saying.
But sorry.
No, I agree with what you're saying. Like, we don't need somebody to jerk it off to get somebody there. But the problem is
in popular music.
But there's such a resurgence, or there's such a force, especially like, I don't know how it is in any other country, but I know in America, the record labels push the fucking agenda for the music. So you listen to crap radio now, which is our local radio station. Back in the 90s, they used to play some decent music.
Yeah, that's right.
And now it's all pop shit.
It doesn't sound like guitar-driven
So what
music.
you're saying is this will penetrate that.
Exactly. So this penetrates that to be played and draw people into the, hey, maybe I do like
it's a gateway band for people.
Yeah.
And
I do agree with you, though, that it seems like there is a resurgence on like playing instruments and stuff, and I love that. And if that's what this does,
but if you're at a club and they're just playing like like Kylie Minogue and shit like that,
and
then they just throw in a fucking Electric Callboy song, you're not stoked a little bit?
Okay, so this is like a festival band.
Yeah.
To where like, okay, the band you just saw, it was really awesome, and
it's
not the next band, but the band after you really want to fucking see. Are you gonna walk away or not? Well, this band has everything, so you'll be somewhat satisfied.
well,
kind of true.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying. Like, so they play Britney Spears and they throw Electric Callboy in between the next heavy band.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to be,
but at the same time,
it's like with anything. I don't want everything to be perfect and normal. I don't want somebody to be like, "Hey, come over here. I got everything you need."
Yeah. But at the same time, I would be ecstatic if a Britney Spears fan decided, oh wait, I don't actually like Britney Spears. I like fucking Cannibal Corpse.
I see what you're saying.
You're both right.
For sure.
So it's cool as fuck. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a cool transition. It's a cool blending of genres, which is kind of our thing. We blend everything together. And it is what it is.
Is it your favorite Electric Callboy album?
Yes, but I really think if you want to know the rest, subscribe, like, leave a comment. We're Blenderstyle. That was Electric Callboy. Tekkno.
Mic drop.
Have a good day.
You know.